Okay, so let's have a look at how we get some of these new bearing cartridge prices into our Centrix. So I've opened Centrix Price Utility version 3.4.5 and let's have a look at what we have so far. So under bearings, they are fan bearings. So I've already put in some of these. So let's have a look at the HFB 63 series. These are oil lubricated. So you can see I've got some entries in here, 60 and 61, 60 and 61. So although note that 63 and 62 you could be confused, but that is the bearing type. So let's just 60 and 61. So the first thing to look at is across here where we've got the housing ID of 60. So let's have a look at the next one, housing ID of 61. And the diameters involved are shown here anyway, shaft or bearing diameter. So I'm selecting the first one then. We've got a housing ID of 60, element ID of 9, which is this particular deep groove ball. So if we change that to a cylindrical roller, then that ID for a cylindrical roller is 30. And we've got a slightly different look here. But in this case, the pricing is made up the same. I've used a factor of 1 for both of these. Now the selection grid here, you notice this is the one that changes. So 60, we've got a 9, which is the element, which is a deep groove ball. And we've also got 60 here, which uses element ID 30. Which is that one. So you know when I click on this that all these other factors stay the same apart from the element. So let's have a look what we need to put in. Well, we've got HFB solid housings here, and as you can see we've got a housing ID of 62, an element ID of 30, which is the cylindrical roller, a seal ID of 62. We've got no price and no factor because we don't have anything entered in these grids. So this is the factors. So let's put this in first. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what price IDs and factor IDs we want to use. So I'm going to use the same, to make life simple, I'm going to use the same number as the housing ID. So I'm going to put in 62 here. The element ID, I'm going to say 30 because that's the cylindrical roller. The seal ID, I'm going to say 62 because that's the seal ID shown there. The price ID, I'm going to use 62. And a factor, I'm also going to use 62. So now I'll jump up to here and we need to put in the factor that I've just put in down here. So I'm going to put 62 and I'm going to put this over a whole range of shaft diameters just in case there are any new ones entered later. I'm going to use a factor of 1 again and it's going to be the same as that. So I'll just copy that and paste it here. A ball or a roller. So now we've done that one, let's have a look at the deep groove ball. Okay, so we need to put in a housing ID of 62 again. The element ID is now a 9. The seal ID is still 62. The price ID, I'm going to use the same, basic price, 62. and a factor, I'm going to use the same factor. So we've already got a factor in here for 62. So I'll just click off that, click on it again. So we've got a factor ID already. So you notice there's only one factor for each of these different cartridges. But now I've got to get some basic prices in here. So I'm going to open up Excel, and this particular Excel sheet has got a screenshot on it and some little sort of lines to help you get this correct. So I'm just going to copy, let's have a look what I need to copy first. Go back to the, so I need all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, which is what is here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Now I should say, before you copy this in, these prices I've just made up here. So you should first edit all these prices and make sure the price you want to put in is the correct price. Now these are going to be the prices without a shaft, because the shafts vary with this particular design. So let's copy those. It's copied, and now I'll just say paste from Excel. Just say yes. So there we are, we've got them in. So now we can apply. Okay, so we've got everything in now. So for the 100, we've got a base price, an adjusted price. We can apply a factor there as well, but it doesn't change anything because it's a factor of 1 to get the adjusted price. So that's it. So it's simply a question of just following those steps, and you'll get in the basic prices for these housings and bearings. Now the other thing that I have added is cartridge shaft machining.